Good morning, children. I hope you are all fine. So, today we have to discuss one more part of our lesson, matter around us. In the last two parts, you have learnt definition, some important concepts in the classification of solids, liquids, and gases. In one part, you have learnt. In the last part, I have made you to introduce a few properties of matter in solids, liquids, and gases. Still, few properties are there in solids, liquids, and gases. In today's class, we'll discuss those properties in detail through activities. Here, the property what I have to discuss is diffusion. Please observe and listen carefully the part what I am going to discuss. This is one of the most important property related to states of matter. So here, what is that? Observing the diffusion of gases. Ask your friend to hold an unlit agarbatti and stand in one corner of a room. Then you go and stand in other corner opposite to him. So can you smell the agarbatti? I hope your answer will be no. Similarly, you ask your friend to lit the agarbatti and stand at that corner. After a few while, you can get the smell of the agarbatti. As your friend lights the agarbatti stick, the scent of the perfume of the agarbatti in vapor form and mixes with the smoke with air and moves across the room in the particular room where you are doing this activity and reach to your nose. So this movement of air, vapors of this agarbatti and the smoke from one place to other is known as actually a diffusion. In this case, smoke or vapor or scent, a perfume also the same way, and air or gases, they are highly mobile. What is meant by mobile? Mobility means movement in that particular area. So if you spray a perfume or a deodorant in one corner of the room, it also spreads soon in all the direction. So I hope you can make a difference whenever a person apply a perfume on his body. When he enters into the room, you can make out some smell. Okay. So now what is this called? This is actually a diffusion. The intermixing of gases or the movement of air, vapor of perfume and the smoke from one place to another is known as diffusion. Here, what is intermixing of gases? Here, the air present in the room and the smoke from the agarbatti or the perfume, they readily move into the spaces between the particles of air as well as the particles of air present in the room. So this is nothing but called as intermixing of gases. In this, we have to understand how liquids also diffuse into liquids. So here you have to take a beaker and what is shown here, you have to take ink pillar. In that you fill with a few amount of ink into that. And in the second beaker, already you have dropped the ink into this beaker. So this we have seen just it is mixing with the water. Now if you see in the third beaker, start mixing more. If you see in the fourth beaker, total color of the water change it to different way. That is the color of the ink. So in this activity, we can understand that liquids also diffuse into each other like gases. Not only that, in this activity, we have to understand one more thing. That is, this is the evidence for the motion of particles. As you compare the beakers in the third and the second, when you can see the motion of the particles of the ink is taken place slowly. In the fourth beaker, we can see that the total color of the water, whatever you have taken as compared to the first and the fourth, the total color of the water changed. This is one of the activity which is related to liquids diffuse into each other, because water is a liquid, the ink is also a liquid. Now here, diffusion of solids into liquids. So here we have to take a crystal of copper sulfate or potassium permanganate should be added to water. The particles of the copper sulfate or potassium permanganate is in the form of a solid state, quickly diffuse in between the particles of water to form a solution. So water is a liquid. So this is the thing what you have to understand. Potassium permanganate or copper sulfate, both are in solid form. The water is in liquid form. In the next slide, you have to see the activity. In this, we are saying left side potassium permanganate crystals and right side you have seen a copper sulfate crystal. Potassium permanganate will have a one color and the copper sulfate crystals have one color. I have taken two different bottles containing equal amount of water. So what I am doing is I am adding potassium permanganate in one bottle and a copper sulfate in another bottle, where I can see the diffusion of these two crystals in respective bottles. Up to now, we have learned diffusion of gases into gases, diffusion of liquid into liquid, diffusion of solid particles into liquid. So here, one more point you have to remember that some gases which are available in the atmosphere like oxygen and carbon dioxide, they diffuse in water. What is meant by here diffusion is nothing but dissolving in water. These dissolved gases which are essential for the survival of aquatic animals and plants. Why? Because all living creatures need oxygen for the survival. So aquatic animals can breathe underwater due to the presence of dissolved oxygen in water. And one more thing is the diffusion of a gas into a liquid. When you go for the cool drink, what happens? Some CO2 is added to the aerated drink. So this is a gas into a liquid. An example for gas into a liquid. Diffusion is very important process for living beings or living things. During respiration, oxygen diffuses from lungs into blood. Not only that, carbon dioxide diffuses from blood into lungs. So solids, liquids and gases diffuse into liquids, but whereas the rate of diffusion of gases here is higher than that of liquids or solids. And one more point you have to remember, solids, liquids and gases all can diffuse into liquids, but the rate of diffusion of liquids is much higher than that of solids also. So when you come to the three states of matter, solid, liquid and gas. In solids, the particles are tightly packed. Liquids, less space is available between the particles. Whereas in the gas, more spaces are available. Based on this property, the diffusion property takes place. Whereas when you come to the solids, solids do not possess the property of diffusion because the interparticle distances is very less. Their particles cannot move. That is the reason in solids we don't have any property of diffusion. Okay, and but we can see a rare examples of diffusion of one solid into another, because when you keep two metal blocks together for so many years, then we can see the two metal blocks diffuse one into another. And one more thing also we can see, what we can see in our day, in our school. What is that is, when you have written something on the board on the last day of your school, after 1 month, if the IMR does not wipe the blackboard, when you come and see the board, what happened? It makes you very difficult to erase the board. You have to get the white wet cloth and wipe the board. So it takes more time to wipe the board because the letters, the chalk piece which is there, that is the solid particles mix into the blackboard. Here the diffusion is solid into solid, but it takes more time. For this process, diffusion of a solid into solid, it takes more time. Generally, we don't find actually. And one more property is liquids possess the property of diffusion, because already we have discussed all the activities and so many examples. Gases diffuses very rapidly. I told about the agarbatti thing. The rate of diffusion of gases is higher than the liquids, while the rate of diffusion of liquids is higher than the solids. Because due to the interparticle distance available for gases and liquids. Here, why the rate of diffusion of a gas is higher? Because one is the higher speed of the gas particles, greater space available between the particles. And one more law is also there, basing on the rate of diffusion. Rate of diffusion of a gas is inversely proportional to square root of its density. So about density, generally now I'll tell what is density. Density is mass per volume. In higher classes, you learn about that. This is related to Graham's law of diffusion. Lighter gases diffuse more quickly than the heavier ones. So we have discussed lighter gases diffuse more quickly than the heavier ones. But here it is very interesting to note that during diffusion, if even heavier gas can move upwards and the lighter gas can move downwards. Here, which is hydrogen is a lighter gas and nitrogen dioxide is a heavier gas. So that's where it is down and it is in the up. So if you take two beakers and here a lid is there, if you remove the lid, what happens? Here which is heavier goes upwards and which is lighter, it moves down. This occurs against the gravity ma. So after some time or some while, what you observe, it is a uniform mixture of two gases. Here the intensity of the color, because this is reddish brown in color and this is colorless. So colorless and reddish brown, after some time when they got mixed together, that means intermixing of the gases into gases takes place here, irrespective of lighter or heavier. If you observe here what happened, a uniform mixture of two gases forms. You cannot identify which is hydrogen gas or which is nitrogen dioxide gas. But on the whole, we have a different color that is called light brown. Okay, this is an example for diffusion of gases, and one is colorless and other one is having one color. The greater diffusion rate in liquids compared to solid is more because particles in liquids move freely. Not only that, they have a greater space between them when compared to the particles of solids. Along with that, the rate of diffusion of different liquids is different. How we can understand? For example, if you take a drop of blue or a red ink and put it in water, it quickly diffuses. That indicates a fast diffusion. Or if you go on the other hand, if you drop a honey in water, it does not dissolve easily or it cannot diffuse easily. We can identify when you want to mix honey in water, you have to stir it. That is the reason honey diffuses slowly in water as compared to the ink. And one more thing is rate of diffusion increases with the temperature. If you take two equal volumes of water in two glasses, one is hot water, the other one is cold water, add some amount of sugar in both the glasses, what you'll observe, sugar dissolves hot water immediately, whereas sugar does not dissolve in cold water. Here the dissolving is similar to your diffusion only. So this clearly shows that rate of diffusion increases with rise in temperature. And sometimes we can see a diffusion in the house also. What is that? A familiar example of diffusion in our house is that when we come to know that what is being cooked in the kitchen without even entering into the kitchen, how the smell reaches to your nose where you are in your drawing room watching TV. This is also nothing but diffusion. The particles of the aroma or the pleasant smell of the food mix with the particles of air. Due to the high speeds of these particles, the smell quickly reaches to you. I told that the rate of diffusion increases with the temperature. Therefore, the smell of hot cooked food which is being cooked in the kitchen travels faster than the cold food. Because as you enter into your house in the evening, if mama is cooking something, the smell reaches to the door. And immediately you'll ask that, Mama, something you are preparing for me. Because every day as you go home, mummies or mothers will prepare something for you to eat in the evenings. So I hope you have understood this concept. What is that? Rate of diffusion increases with temperature. In today's class, we have learned the diffusion of gases into liquids, liquids into liquids, solids into liquids. These all various diffusion and so many factors affecting the diffusion is all you have learned.